Psalm 145, verse 5 says, "They speak of the glorious splendor of your majesty, and I will meditate on your wonderful works." I really enjoy going to national parks in the United States. During summer, whenever I get a chance, I like to visit national parks and take a time to refresh myself. Unfortunately, this summer, I do not have a chance to go to national parks due to the COVID-19. When you get to those national parks, they do indeed speak of the glorious splendor of God's majesty. And you get to meditate on His wonderful works. Today I'd like to share top 10, my personal top 10 national parks that I have visited. First one is Glacier National Park. It's a paradise for the nature lovers, which is located in northwest Montana. The park is full of outdoor activities. I really enjoy driving through, going to the Sun Road. It is a 50 miles of scenic drive that offers visitors a wildlife spotting and spectacular views, unforgettable views. This park has more than 700 miles of hiking trails, and I still remember hiking along the beautiful lake in the park. I don't mind going back there and probably spend the whole summer if I have a chance. Next is Yellowstone National Park. It is a department store of all the national parks in the United States. It has animals, canyon, river, waterfall, lake, mountains, and most of all, geysers. If you enjoy watching animals such as bears, bison, elk, and birds, then this is a place to be. There are so many things to do and things to watch that you probably want to stay for a whole year. Next is Yosemite National Park. Known for El Capitan, Yosemite Falls, Half Dome, Tunnel View, and many hiking trails, the park attracts 5 million visitors every year. And there's a reason why. Wonderful place for camping if you know how to hide food from bears. This is a place where you must visit in each season to see the different perspective of the park. Next is Grand Canyon National Park. The Colorado River cuts through the canyon and stretches up to 277 miles that offers mesmerizing views to millions of tourists. When you get there for the first time, you automatically open your mouth and say, wow. You also get to realize how powerful the Noah's flood was by looking at the canyon. Indeed, it is the king of the canyons. However, it might get a little boring after looking at it for an hour. Next is Rocky Mountain National Park. If you like mountains, then you need to go to the Rocky Mountain National Park. It is a king of mountains. On the way to Rocky Mountains, you see a lot of gorgeous mountains. But when you see the Rocky Mountain, the other mountains are like high school kids standing next to an NBA basketball player. You need to see it for yourself to see how majestic it is. Next is Zion National Park. Make sure to take the shuttle bus and go into the park. You could enjoy the beauty of the park just by riding the shuttle bus. The park has many hiking trails. The trails that I took were the Zion Narrow River Sidewalk and the Narrows. I was not able to finish the Narrow due to flooding at that time, but it was nice to walk in the Virgin River to see the breathtaking beauty of the canyon. You get this sense that God is about to say something to you when you're by yourself in a quiet place. Very spiritual place. Next is a Crater Lake National Park. The lake was formed when Mount Mazama erupted in about 5,700 BC. Eventually, rain and snow accumulated and formed a lake 1,900 feet deep, which is the deepest lake in the United States. When I was flying to Seattle from Los Angeles, I saw a huge lake on top of mountains in Oregon. and it was the Crater Lake. Next is Arches National Park. It is home to the highest concentration of natural sandstone arches in the world. It is just God's creative work how these arches are formed. In order to see the famous delicate arch, however, you need to walk 3 miles round trip from the parking lot. Next is the Bryce Canyon National Park. It is infamous for their stone hoodoos that have colors of red, orange, and white that remain as the results of years of erosion caused by not wind, but by water, ice, and gravity. Basically, they look like bunch of sculptures created by God. And my last top 10 is Death Valley National Park. It's probably the most underrated national park. Perhaps the word death scares many people away. If you go there during springtime, you have opportunities to see a lot of beautiful sceneries. Some places, you feel like you're in Mars. It is so unlike Earth. That's why the movie Star Wars was filmed there. All these wonderful places make you appreciate the creation work of God. But just imagine how beautiful our new heaven and new earth will be. Revelation 21, 1 through 5 says, Then I saw a new heaven and new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. He who has seated on the throne said, I am making everything new. Then he said, Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. When Jesus comes back, when he becomes our ruler, a new heaven and new earth will be so beautiful. And verse 4 says, He will wipe every tear from our eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. We will live in a kingdom where there is no sin and there is no pain. It will be a beautiful place. We will worship God forever and ever, having fellowship with other brothers and sisters. There will be no hatred, no blame, no resentment, and we could look forward to that beautiful place, wonderful place in the future. All we need to do is we need to faithfully follow Jesus here on earth as we expect great kingdom in the future when Jesus comes back. And he will come back. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.